Hello and welcome to the Banker's Tech Talk video series, looking at all things fintech. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy and Technology Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Charlotte Crosswell, CEO of Innovate Finance, an independent membership organisation that represents the UK's global fintech community. Charlotte, thanks so much for joining us today. Can you tell me a little bit of some of the fintech trends that you're seeing, and is investment still as high as it was, let's say, last year?
Certainly fintech continues to grow from strength to strength. We're certainly seeing it going into embedded finance now. So it used to be more B2C, and we've seen the consumer get very excited about fintech. We're now seeing that going B2B in many more cases, and then showing obviously some of these big banks really embedding tech within their own environments. And as a result, the investment still continues to grow. VC investment stayed flat last year, but that was because we had this huge increase on PE investment coming into the sector, which really shows the maturing of it to the next level.
So I know Innovate Finance released its Women in Fintech Powerlist again this year. Can you tell me why that's so important?
It's so important to show the diverse teams, the diverse cultures that are needed to build a successful fintech company. So we felt that it's time to shine that spotlight on women. We do this every year, but this is the first year we've actually put it out to nominations. We've had an independent judging panel, and that's because there's just so many amazing women working in fintech. So 1,200 names were given to us. Judging panel, independent firms had a tough job of sitting there, taking that down to 150 to shine a spotlight on the power list. And also then we had our standout 35, which is the 35 really making the difference. Shame we can't include everybody, but I think it just showed how many people are out there changing this and how many people can aspire to. And I think that's really important as we look to move from finance to fintech. Let's make sure that we actually build that up with true diverse teams to take us to the next stage.
Okay, and I know recently Innovate Finance launched its Fintech for Schools initiative. Again, what were the reasons behind that and why is it so important?
I think one thing that everyone's talking about is, do we have a skills and talent gap? The banks are seeing this, certainly the fintech companies that are fighting for that same talent are seeing it as more people are looking for technical skills. Now, how are we going to sit there and move that dialogue forward? Yes, we are still reliant on overseas talent coming into the country, and we will still continue to lobby for more visas, but it is also to a certain extent about having our homegrown talent. If over 90% of jobs created today are going to require digital skills, we have to inspire our next generation of kids at school to sit there and look at this as potential career opportunities. So we're going back into schools, firstly secondary schools, our vision is to go even into primary school, to sit there and actually say finance and tech is not what most people think about nowadays, and let's sit there and feed that talent pipeline for the future.
Excellent. And the Global Summit is happening on the 29th and 30th of April. What will be the major themes this year?
So again, we've looked at some of the themes around fintech and what it needs to move to the next level. So at one stage we have those themes such as skills and talent, such as diversity, such as capital investment. And then some of the other stages are more shining the spotlight on the actual verticals within fintech, some of the companies really changing those products, and some of the banks sitting there saying what are they doing to partner with fintechs, to buy from fintechs, and to sit there and learn, again back to the culture piece, of how do they actually learn from fintechs, of how to become more innovative themselves. So it's going to be a sizable conference this year, over 2,000 people descending on Guildhall. I think we've got 12, 13 international delegations already registered to come in. And also we've got our investment zone that allows actually investors to come and meet with companies, book tables, and actually look at getting future deals done.
Excellent. And my last question is around the B word, Brexit. Do you think it's going to have an impact on the fintech community in the UK?
I certainly think, like any SMEs, fintech companies are going to have to sit there and work out what that means to them. Very difficult to work that out when they don't know what we're looking for, and I think that that's the same as many SMEs across the country. The issue with fintech companies, obviously, they are in the services sector, and many of them are looking at Europe as their next stage of growth, or they're there already and are having to potentially put in overseas offices, sit there. That's pretty tough when you're a small company to sit there, and how do you manage that talent-wise, cost-wise, and actually, is Europe therefore going to be your next port of call, or are you going to look further afield? So certainly we are spending a lot of time educating with government, with the regulators on what needs to be done. But I think, like anyone, certainty is key, and that's one thing we don't have yet.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Charlotte.
Thank you.